Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Garage Reviews. My name is Raghav and today we have with us the 2022 brand new Skoda Slavia. Skoda's answer to cars such as the Honda City or the Hyundai Verna. And in this video, we're going to be giving you a very detailed review of this car, talking about styling, features, practicality, and all of those things. It's a very detailed review, so be sure to watch this video till the complete end. And by the way, I have given timestamps to all these different segments in the description of this video, so if you are just interested in a few segments, you can directly skip to them and watch this video. But with that said, without any further ado, let's get started. The Skoda Rapid was a very successful car for Skoda in India, and the Slavia is a replacement for that car. Now, however sad we may be to see the Rapid go, well, seeing the Slavia, this is just as good as the Rapid, if not better. And in this video, I'm going to explain exactly why. In my personal opinion, just for a brief overview, this car is a mini Octavia. But anyways, before we start with the actual review, let's talk about a few details about this car. First of all, the Slavia this time around is based on the Cockpit platform, which means you'll get three variants: the Active, Ambition and the Style being the top end variant. And you will get manual and automatic transmissions in both with a petrol engine of either 1 liter or 1.5 liter. Now, the actual launch dates for both the cars: 1 liter is 28th of February and the 1.5 liter is on 3rd of March. Which also means that we will be coming out with a dedicated test drive video for the Slavia as well, but that video will be live once the actual launch of the car has been done. But anyways, with that said, finally, let's start with the review and continue with the styling. If we talk about the styling of the Slavia, I really love the design. And I can pretty easily say that it's a hybrid design between the Cockpit and the Octavia. Octavia because it's a sedan and it's a very sporty feeling sedan. And there are a few other styling cues that match with the Octavia as well. But the Cockpit, well, because they have used some elements from the Skoda Cockpit as well. For example, the bigger grille of this car, which has a similar design and is much more wider, just like the Cockpit. But anyways, let's talk about some designing cues, such as the headlamps of this car. It's a projector headlamp setup, which is the industry standard at this point of time, and we also get to see DRLs with an L shape that we also get to see in the Skoda Cockpit. Talking down below over here, you get to see the fog lamps of this car. They are halogen, but then again, the industry standard at this point of time. Talking about the grille of this car, we get this famous Skoda grille, the butterfly grille from any Skoda car, and the design itself is very simple yet goes with the car really well. And there is ample amount of chrome all along the car. For example, alongside the grille of the car, you can also see chrome finishes above the fog lamps of this car. Then again, gives a very luxurious feel to the car. If we talk about the sporty characteristic, well, the hood of this car is a living proof of that. We get so aggressive lines and so accentuating lines in the car, just like we got in the Skoda Octavia. And they honestly look very good on the car. Even the side profile of this car is just as stunning. We get the same sporty kind of accentuating lines given on the door sills of the car, which meet up in the front over here at the front fender, where we have a gorgeous Skoda logo. The alloy wheels of the car have a really good design and they are 16 inches in size. Talking about the ORVMs over here, we get body colored ORVMs, obviously at this price point, with integrated indicators, and they have a similar design to that what we got to see in the Skoda Rapid as well. A few other things about the side profile, such as the window sills, you can see given down below, we have a chrome finish, and even on the door handles of the car, you get to see a chrome finish, which in my opinion is subjective. I personally am okay with it. Some people like it a lot. The rear design of the Skoda Slavia, I really like, because it's such an aggressive design that it matches with the vibe of the car completely well. And if we talk about a few styling cues of the car, for example, the tail lights of the car, I can again say it is a hybrid between the Octavia and the Cockpit, because the tail lamps of this car look very similar to both those cars. Other than that, if we talk about simple things such as badging, well, Skoda has had a very interesting choice over here, because they've given the Slavia badging, which is normal because you do get to see the car name, but in the back end, you don't get to see the Skoda logo. It's rather a Skoda badging. Personally, I like it, but there are a lot of other people who prefer a logo instead of badging. Talking about the interior styling of the Slavia, first of all, I am in absolute love with this steering wheel. This two-spoke design is one of the best design steering wheel I have ever seen for a car. Skoda has done a wonderful job with it. The whole fit and finish too is great. I mean, this leather wrapped steering wheel with metallic inserts everywhere. Even other than this, if you talk about some other things of the car, for example, this trim that goes around this car. Now, it may look like wood, but it's not actually wood. It has a metallic feel to it. But this trim goes all alongside the cabin, even continued into the AC vents of the car. Looks very, very good. And the whole cabin vibe is just like any other luxury car. I mean, comparing it to its competitors like the Honda City or Hyundai Verna, no offense, in my opinion, this just blows them out of the park. The way that they've integrated everything, like this display, it does not look out of the way. It looks like this display is just as integral part of the car as like the steering wheel or anything else. It is hats off to Skoda, the way that they have designed this whole car. Even small details like this texture that they've given over here, or the texture that they've given on the trim of the car, everything, this piano black finish, everything looks so luxurious, feels so premium, that it doesn't even feel that you're in a sub 20 lakh rupee car. And obviously, Skoda being known for its build quality, nowhere in the car would you feel like there are a lot of rattles. Obviously, they've used plastic, but the plastic used in the car is of very high quality. There are no rattles, no unnecessary things given in the car. The things that actually have been used, like for example, these things that are used on a regular basis, or let's say the gear level that is used on a regular basis, all of these things, or even the door handles used on a regular basis, all of those things are any other material but plastic, because they know that these are things that people will use on a regular basis, and so they made it of a material that wouldn't fade out during the years. That is the level of thinking that Skoda has gone to while creating this car. Now, talking about features in the Skoda Slavia, we're going to talk about the most important part, and that is safety features first, and then we'll move on inside. So in terms of safety, Skoda is pretty well known. It's one of the key aspects that Skoda is actually known for. And talking about safety features, well, in the top end variants, you get 6 airbags for the car, EBD, ABS, electronic stability program as standard in all cars, and you can even get hill hold control as an option for the car. Not to mention the whole build quality of the car, the thud that you get when you close the door or open the door in the car, that alone tells you how prominently Skoda has actually thought about safety for any of its car, not just the Slavia. So in terms of safety, I really don't think that any of us will be complaining. Now, the official NCAP rating isn't out for the car as of now, but whenever it will be, I will mention that in the description down below. So do check that out. But even still, I am very confident with how this car will perform in its safety tests. But in terms of other features that this car provides, we also get a sunroof in the car. In terms of comfort, you get ventilated seats for the fronts, which is absolutely insane. You get a 10-inch touchscreen in the car, which you also saw in the Octavia and the Kushaq. And a very, very cool feature, especially in this segment, is of the virtual cockpit, which you get to see in the top end variants of the Slavia. And that, in my opinion, is a game-changing feature. So let's talk about that in more detail. So we're going to start with the virtual cockpit tour with the steering wheel. The buttons given over here are actually used for controlling this display. The buttons over here are used for the infotainment display of the car. Now, I have done a very detailed review of the infotainment display of this car in a separate video, so I won't be going in detail in that. I will link that video in the description down below, however, or an information card on your screen right now. Go check that out so that you have a detailed review of the infotainment display of the car. Right now, let's talk about this display. First of all, let's talk about the home display over here, where you get the digital speedometer for the car, the gear shift indicator of the car, and the odometer and all those things over here. But mind you, this is a virtual cockpit. Everything is customizable. Just press this button, this one right here, and then you can change what this side of the display will actually show you. And you have a lot of different options. For example, economy, distance time, average speed, gear display, audio, telephone, and all of those things. And even a function of no display. If you wanted this to be like completely blank, you can do that. Or if you want to change something like the settings of the car, you can easily do that from here. That is the biggest benefit of a virtual cockpit. You can change the car, you can have the display any way you like. Similarly, the same goes for the other display right over here. But then you can use these buttons to change the display completely. For example, if I press this button, you can see we then go into the traditional speedometer for the car, where the gear is displayed over here, the speed of the car is over here, and then a digital speedometer is also given over here. And then once again, if you press this again, it then gives you the sporty display, because it gives you the tachometer clear in the center, along with the digital speedometer over here and the gear display over here. Now the sides of the car, if we talk about that, we have the engine temperature gauge over here, we have the proper odometer of the car right here, all the alerts will be shown right there, we have the range of the car over there, and then the fuel meter right over here. So that is a small little tour of the virtual cockpit that Skoda is giving you in the new Skoda Slavia. In my opinion, very well done. I mean, this feature is an absolute game changer, like I said, for this segment of cars. One other feature I would like to say is the feature of this. This is actually a customizable button. For example, if I press this, you can see button without a function. But then in the settings of the car, you can actually assign a function to this button, and this will be your customizable button over here. This is a great feature, I think, taken directly from a car like Audi, because Audi also has these kind of features, and I really appreciate that. Now, starting up with the practicality of the car, we're going to start with the glove box, where you can see for organization, and this is one thing that I love about Skoda cars, we have a lot of organization. We have two separate coin slots over there, we have a card holder over here, and this glove box is actually ventilated as well, which is cool. And overall, the glove box size is also huge. You will not have an issue keeping anything over here. Talking about the center console, you can see we have a rubberized center console storage over here, which is good, so that if you keep your phone or something, it won't fly off. This is great thinking by Skoda. We also have two USB Type-C ports over there for connecting various things to your car, be it wired Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. Obviously, this display will give you wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay as well, which is good. But then again, talking about practicality as is, the storage cubby is very big. You can easily keep a lot of stuff there. Moving behind the gear selector over here, you can see we have a small little storage cubby over here, which I think is for keeping coins. But I also think that you can keep the key for the car as well over here. Right now there are two, but then again you can keep one key at home, and then you can keep the key of the car over here. Alongside we have a 12-volt charging socket like this, and behind that we have two rather small cup holders in this car, and the weird little smallest cup holder over here. I am pretty sure that you will not be able to keep a bottle over here, but that is fine, because we have a dedicated bottle holder over here. We have a lot of space in the door panels of this car as well. You can keep a one little bottle holder over here, and you also have this elastic band so that you can tie down some things so that they don't rattle around when you're driving. Even the armrest of this car, first of all, is adjustable, which is good, but then you can open it to reveal a very large storage cubby, a good place for keeping some things. Even on the dash of this car, you have a small little indentation over here for keeping a few things. Although I think this storage cubby is not that useful, because whenever you will drive the car, things will tend to fly off from there. But one storage that is actually useful is given on the driver's side over here. You have a dedicated card slot, and you can easily keep some stuff over here. I think this is more useful for keeping toll receipts or small little pieces of paper that you really require. Moving to the rear seats of this car, the only place you will get to see storage cubbies is the rear seats of the car. You have seat pockets for the passenger and for the driver's side seat. You don't have any kind of storage cubby over here because of the rear AC vents. But you do get two Type-C ports over there. And if you move down the middle seat of the car, you can see we have two rather small cup holders over here. But then again, not an issue, considering the fact that you do have dedicated bottle holders on doors of this car. And now coming to the most important part of our practicality session, which has to do with the trunk. And to open the trunk, we have two ways. First of all is on the key fob, as you can see, and then you also have a request sensor over here. But one thing I really like is that we have spring actuators given on this side and on this side, which opens the trunk on its own. You will have to close it manually, but then it opens it automatically, which is good. But then the trunk size of this car is something that astonishes me. I mean, just look at how big this storage cubby is. You can easily keep like 4 or 5 bags over here and still have a lot more space left. So for going for a long road trip in this car, not an issue at all. Talking about comfort in the Slavia, I'm sitting in the front seats, and my initial impressions are awesome for the car. The seats are very plush, they grip me in well. I don't feel that I'm dangling around here and there. A very good fit and finish. These are all the things that I could keep on saying about the seats of this car, and my impression would just keep getting better and better. Obviously, being the front seats, you can obviously move the seat back and forth, the backrest back and forth, and you can also have the seat height adjusted according to you, and all of this is manual. But given the segment of the car, we really don't have an issue with that. Even this steering wheel of the car is adjustable, not only tilt, that is up and down, but also telescopic, which means inwards and outwards. All of this is a recipe for a comfortable car. Now, as soon as I get into the rear seats of the car, the one thing that I hope that you guys notice is the legroom. I am pretty tall at 6 feet 2, and I was just sitting in the driver's side seat, which means the seat is adjusted to a height of a person according to 6 feet 2. And still, when I come into the rear seats, I have around 4 to 5 inches of legroom available, which is just insane. The headroom as well, I have about 1.5 or 2 inches of headroom, which for any person I think would be sufficient. Even if anyone wearing a turban would to sit here in the back seat, I don't think that they will have an issue. The seat material is obviously the same as the front ones. You get the same leather seats back here, very soft, very comfortable, and they grip me in well. Obviously, the grip is a little less compared to the front seats, but then again, not a big issue back here. 3 adults could sit back over here. They would be a little tight, but then again, it is adjustable. For 2 adults and a child, not an issue at all. And speaking of that, if we move on to the middle seat of the car, actually, one thing that I really like is that the transmission tunnel of the car is not of big height, so I could easily keep my feet on the transmission tunnel as well, and I don't think that I will have an issue. And the middle seat obviously is a little harder than the side seats, not anything that troubles me too much. So overall, even the rear seat experience of this car, I'm actually quite surprised. Coming towards the end of this review, we are now about to talk about the prices for the Skoda Slavia. Well, as of now, there is no official statement from Skoda per se, because car launches on 28th of Feb for the 1 litre one and 3rd of March for the 1.5 litre petrol engine. But there are a few rumors going around here and there on the internet as of now. And what those prices are, you can see them on your displays right now. Now, to the looks of it, it does look very, very promising, and they actually look like to be the real pricing for the Slavia. It's not necessary that these are the correct prices, because the correct prices from Skoda will be revealed on 28th of February and 3rd March, as I said. But overall, I really like this car. Talking about the conclusion, I honestly think that Skoda has done a wonderful job on 2 fronts. Number one, that is the replacement of the Rapid. The Slavia is a very promising car, and I honestly feel that it has done justice to what the Rapid had served and what the Slavia will now. And number 2 is a great competition. Cars such as the Honda City and the Hyundai Verna were dominating the market as of now, but with the entry of the Skoda Slavia, I think those cars really have a run for their money, because the amount of features, the amount of practicality, the amount of comfort, and best of all, the build quality of this car is really one thing to look at and is a very promising competitor compared to the other cars. One more thing, I cannot say anything about the driving experience of the car as of now. Although we do know that Skoda cars are really good in terms of driving experience, and this car is definitely not going to disappoint us. But still, for a detailed driving experience review of this car, once the car has been officially launched, we'll do that, and I will post it on the channel as well. So right now, all I can say is that the Slavia is an absolutely amazing car and a worth car to look at if you're in the market for a car of this segment. But anyways, that's all for this video, guys. I really hope that you liked this video. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below your favorite part about this video or what you think about the Skoda Slavia. Share this video as much as you can with someone who is interested in this car, or if you are a car enthusiast. And don't actually forget to subscribe to this channel, because we have a lot more content coming through, and your subscription gives me a lot of more motivation to create content for you guys. But thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.